Hey everyone, my name is Emmanuel, and I'm joined by my good friend here, Adamari. And today we're gonna talk to you a little bit about some of the crazy things we've seen in the past. Adamari.
Okay, what he means by that is that we're going to dive into supernatural stories or paranormal stories. And I have two supernatural stories because I've never gone through anything paranormal. Well, that's what I think. I could be forgetting. But for supernatural, I like to call them witchy feelings. So there's two instances where I've had my witchy intuition feelings. One was when I was a freshman here at UMKC. I graduated, by the way, this past May. But I was a freshman here at UMKC, and I was hanging out with one of my old friends. And she was like, "Hey, can I introduce you to my friend? He's really cool, and I think you guys would get along."
Mhm.
And I was like, "Of course, I love meeting new people," which I do. And so her friend pulls up, and we do the whole introduction. And I go in to shake his hand. I'm like, "Oh, it's nice to meet you," right? I do
Yeah.
this. I shake
Yeah.
his hand, but I got a weird feeling after. Like felt like something bad was gonna happen to him,
Mm.
and I don't know why. It just felt like it was over me, like something was hunching over me. I don't know. And then he started talking about a little bit about himself, and he brought up his girlfriend, and then that feeling came back. I was like, no, like something bad is gonna happen with him and his girlfriend.
Dang.
So the next week goes by. We're both getting to know each other more, and then he's like, "Oh, my girlfriend broke." And I was like, "When did she break up with?" "Oh, like earlier this week." I was like, "Oh, that's crazy." And then I told him about my feeling, not right away, because he would have been like, "That's weird. Like you're weird." I told him this maybe during our junior year. Yes, it was junior year of college here at UMKC, and I told him how I felt when I first met him. And ever since then, he calls me a bruja, which is witch in Spanish. So that's my first witchy feeling. I still don't know why. And it was only with him. I've never gotten bad feelings like that when it comes to physical touch. Wait, that's oh, but that one was like the main one that I remember. Junior year, I'm meeting lots of new people. That's when I'm starting to become involved on campus. And I meet this guy, we hit it off, and we start dating.
Yeah.
So we date for it was a pretty long
Yeah.
time. And towards the end it just felt weird. Like it felt different. Like I
Yeah.
always had some instances where I like something in my intuition was telling me like Adamari, don't do it. But I always ignored it because I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give him a chance. And so then it was towards the end of around the time we broke up, he just started being weird, like cold and distant. And sometimes he'd be okay. And I was like, okay, like I don't know what's going on. Like we're having some whiplash here. I don't know what's going on. And then one of the nights, I was just scrolling on my phone because I followed a lot of student organization pages. Unfollowed as soon as I graduated, by the way.
Yeah.
And then I was scrolling and I see a post by one of the orgs here. Just kidding, not here. One of the student orgs. And it was like, oh, what we've done this past week. And it was pictures of different activities. And I see the guy that I was dating sitting next by a girl. And I was like, I zoomed in on it. I zoomed in. You bet I zoomed in on it. I'm looking at this picture because I was like, oh, look at him. And then I like zoom in and then I was like, oh, who is this? Like, I've met all his friends. I don't recognize this person. Like, this person looks new. New person unlocked. And but I just got a bad feeling as soon as I saw that picture. Like that weird feeling, like the same one from the first story, came back, but it was intensified.
It was a bruja instincts.
I don't know what it was. And I felt so bad. I felt like I needed to throw up. And like if I needed to cry, throw up at the same time. And so something told me, take a screenshot. Take a screenshot of it. Like save it for later. And so I saved it for later, never brought it up to him. A couple weeks later, he breaks things off and he's like, oh yeah, it's because I'm not ready. And I was like, okay. And then a couple months later, we reconnected and he was just like, it's because I actually, like, I was telling the truth, but like, I wasn't, I wasn't ready also, but like, I also
But
cheated on
yeah.
you. That's why.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, who was it? And he was like, oh, it's no one you knew. She was a new friend. And I was like, that's funny you're saying that because I have this picture. And I sent him the picture that I screenshotted, guys, months ago. I screenshotted it and I sent it to him. And I was like, was it her? And he was like, yes, that was her. And that's it. I was like, wow, I had a feeling. Because he was like, how'd you know? I was like, I just had a feeling. I was like, I don't know. I just had a feeling. So there's my witchy sense there. Guys, I don't know what that is. If you can tell me what that is, please let me know. But I would say those are the 2 times where it's been the most intense. But it comes back every once in a while. I feel like it's in dire need.
Yeah, and I want to say it's definitely Bruja instincts. It definitely is. Although I guess it's open for interpretation. But on another note, I did not make that post because I was running I was in the exec board. So a year ago when I first went to Mexico,
Okay.
I went to go visit my cousins, and my cousins, they sort of own and operate this little church. The first floor is where, they have service and everything. The second floor, that's where, their house, or I guess that's where they sleep, their beds, their kitchen, all of that, right? So Sunday came. I guess I wasn't attending service because I was working on stuff. So downstairs they were having service, and then suddenly I hear a scream. It sounded like a kid at first. I thought, some kid probably fell or whatever. And then like moments pass, and then I hear the scream again. Only this time I could clearly make out that it was a woman. It was the
Okay.
scream of a woman. And then I kind of stopped working. I was like, what's going on here? And then the scream happens again. Only this time it doesn't stop. This person screams. There's a pause, and they keep screaming and screaming. And then I noticed that in these screams, it sounded like not someone who's scared, but someone who's like in physical agony, right? And then like I just hear like it's so weird, but I could almost make out a growl in that scream. Anyway, so the screaming continues, it doesn't stop, and then I hear another scream, but it's from another person. And this time I could tell that it was a man who was screaming. Now that both of these people are screaming
At the same time?
at the same time, and it happens for like 30 seconds, and it doesn't stop. And then I hear my cousin David, he's one of the pastors there. He starts yelling random things downstairs. I heard in el nombre de Jesus, in el nombre de Jesus, the Lord that I serve is more powerful than you.
Jesus.
Yeah. And then like I forgot what he was saying, but he was saying something that I guess was important, right? Anyway, so suddenly the door to the second floor, it opens, and my niece walks in. And then I just get up and I ask her, "Hey, what's going on down there? Is it like some sort of exorcism or what?" And then she was like, "Yeah, my dad, my dad downstairs, he's exercising two of the members. Like we were having service, and then out of nowhere, this lady, she just starts like convulsing. She gets on the floor and she started like screaming. And then like my dad, he's exercising her, and also this guy who moments later he just started doing the same thing, right? And then like I just kind of stood there because like I didn't know what to say. I mean, like that's how does that happen? First of all,
And she said it like if it was so nonchalant.
she did. She did. Like this happens every other weekend, right? I mean, not that it does, but still, it was to them. I guess it's normal. Anyway, she says, he's exercising them downstairs, right? And I wouldn't recommend going down there right now because like the moment he gets those things out of him, they could jump onto whoever's closest, right? And so it's like I wouldn't go downstairs if I were you. And then I was like, no, ni mais, I ain't going down there. I'm staying up here, right? And then we also brought holy water because that's you need that whenever you're exercising your
Especially for that
demons.
story.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We could have used it, but we didn't have any available. Anyway, so I asked my niece, don't you want to stay up here? And she was like, nah, this isn't the first time it's happened. And anyway, she leaves. The screaming continues, and then suddenly it stops. It's silent, and then I hear someone walking up the stairs, and it's my other cousin, Ilse. Right? She's David's wife, and she tells me, Manuel, we made some tacos. Do you want some? And I tell her, like, wait, hold on a minute. My niece, she just came upstairs and she told me that David was exorcising someone. Didn't that just happen? And then she was like, yeah, but it was happening in the other room. In this room, we were making tacos. Do you want some? And I was like, I guess, yeah, thanks. And so we walked downstairs, and sure enough, like all the church members, they were just eating, right? They were eating tacos, and then like I see David, and he was like, "Hey, Manuel, like I just exercised a couple people. You want to meet him?" And it's like, I don't know what to say. It's like, yeah, and so like I just kind of smile and say, "Hey," and this guy, oh my god, like I could see his eyes. They look like they were just about to pop off, like just it's crazy. Like they were bulging, but it was like he wasn't even looking at me. He was looking at the wall, and he just had a very serious looking
Dude, he's
face.
probably exhausted.
Yeah. That's a story that I have, and those are some of the things that we've experienced. Join us on episode 2 for some more of these crazy stories that we have unfortunately experienced. We don't ask them to happen; they just kind of happen for God knows what reason, right? Anyway, thank you, and we'll see you on the next episode.